15 huge waves that you wouldn't believe existed. Oceans, seas, beaches, and waves. What's there to not like about it? If you've ever been to one, you will relate how picturesque the view and how refreshing it can get. But talking about memories recording turning into a horror sighting, this video will have you stunned by the end. So make sure you don't sail away in the middle. Hello and welcome. You are watching 15 huge waves that you wouldn't believe existed. And today, in this video, we will show the sights of unbelievable moments caught on camera by shortlisting 15 huge waves that you wouldn't believe existed. Before we proceed, perform the ritual of subscribing to our channel and joining our family to surf on these high tides. Number 15. Clipper Race Wave Encounter. The Clipper Race is a sailing competition between yachts to complete a circumnavigation across 12 months. The course changes each time the event is held, but the significant challenge involves crossing various dangerous stretches of the ocean, especially the rough Southern Sea. A similar event was caught on camera when and went viral after the crew members are seen dealing with the winds, a storm that magnitude would whip up some waves up to 46 feet tall. The wave is seen to wreck the front deck completely, and it impacted the galley as well. It was unbelievable for the members to survive unscathed as they hung strongly to the harnesses while the yacht swung. Number 14. Ghost Tree. Pebble Beach, California's sharks, hidden rocks, and cold temperatures haunt the appropriately named Ghost Tree Break in Northern California. When a giant wave arrives, it reaches up to 80 feet high and 20 feet wide. Number 13. Cortez Bank. Like many big high wave spots, Cortez doesn't break often, but when it does, it's a real monster. During 1990, waves at the bank were reaching 80 to 90 feet, which usually sits nearly 100 miles off the coast. Mike Parsons is one of the champions of the bank. He holds 2 Guinness World Records there, one for his 66-footer in 2001 and one for his 70-footer in 2008. Number 12. North Shore of Maui. Hawaii is known as one of the world's best surfing destinations, but there's one place where particularly unique waveforms which has become known as Jaws. It's on the North Shore of Maui and can often exceed 60 feet high, and it's a surfer's dream and is a location of regular tournaments and competitions. But while those on boards might know how to handle the torrent of water, people driving spectator boats aren't so well equipped. In 2014, everyone was reminded of quite how powerful Jaws are when a ship that was trying to get a better view of the action found itself in the direct path of the wave. It was capsized in just a matter of seconds and threw all on into the water. Fortunately, everyone survived, and the boat was turned back over and towed back to the nearby harbor. Number 11. Taiwan Coast. In September of 2016, a massive typhoon named Typhoon Maggie began to whirl into action off the coast of Taiwan, and when it finally made landfall, it brought with it huge crashing waves and torrential storms. It was recorded to be a Category 4 storm, with winds of up to 130 miles per hour, and it battered the coastal regions where it hit first. More than 3.89 million homes were left without power, and 14,000 people had to be evacuated. But it was the size and force of the waves that were the biggest surprise. They broke as the Segue shallower on a coastal shelf and dwarfed buildings and a lighthouse that stands in the way. Number 10. Southern Ocean. No matter how far the reach of humans is in outer space, places on Earth still exist that can get supposedly impossible for humans to travel. The place where they are brought face to face with nature's wrath and its enigmas, the ocean. The Southern Ocean, in particular, is an unwelcoming place. Due to fewer landmass, it is prone to the formation of absolutely gigantic waves. A network of buoys monitoring the water conditions in May of 2018 recorded something unbelievable near Campbell Island. During a storm, the waves reached a height of 78 feet, which broke the record for the ocean's most massive wave ever detected. Some even claimed that at its peak, the tide would have surged to 8 stories high. Number 9. Cross waves. Although the ocean is composed of the weird and unexpected phenomenon, the most considerably dangerous tops our list. Cross waves are unbelievable to sight phenomenon that occurs when two weather systems at perpendicular angles cross each other at sea. As the wind forms waves, they continue in their original direction until their energy disperses, and the result is a grid-like structure on the ocean's surface. They are enormously dangerous and challenging to navigate and almost look unreal. They can occur almost anywhere where there's a body of water, and are known to cause a larger number of shipping accidents, more than usual because it's impossible to line up against the waves. It even gets tough to swim against these waves because of invisible currents beneath the water that flow in different directions and make things even more tricky, even in shallow water. It is critically advised to come out of the sea as soon as you see it happening. Number 8. Calving. With the extreme weather condition of 2020, nobody can deny that global weather conditions have changed drastically. With the process of glaciers falling, the term comes in known as ice calving. It is known as the breaking of ice chunks from the edge of a glacier. You can see huge pieces detaching themselves from the main shelf. Since destruction is a favorite sight of humans, you'd see them recording this one too, trespassing the security of themselves and recording this ice-breaking moment. In 2010, a tourist boat stopped across the bay from the Holgate Glacier in Alaska, where people started noticing small chunks of ice falling from the side. Gradually, much bigger pieces began to fall until the entire cliff calved free from the glacier and fell into the ocean. With such a block of massive-sized ice falling, a huge wave is inevitable. The recorders who were on board started panicking for their safety, but the wave notched down till it reached the boat. But this recorded the highest wave that you may not believe exists within the ocean. Number 7. Tidal bores. Tidal bores, or bores, is a tidal phenomenon in which high seas tides rushes up some rivers near a coast where there is a large tidal range. The world's largest tidal bore happens in China's Tongue River in August, when the conditions are just right and swell up to 10 to 15 feet tall, breaking the banks and flooding the region. Although it is an annual event that dates hundreds of years back, the Chinese authorities issue warning to anyone willing to visit the bores to keep a safe distance. Even with the warnings, many people are said to have been killed to take a perfect picture against the bore. Number 6. Western Cape, South Africa. Wave enthusiasts and surfers are always in quest of the highest tide to ride. Having said that, this South African region is on their wish list, without a doubt. Lying at Sentinel Mountain's foot in Western Cape, the region is known for its unusually large and violent storms. The best time is usually during August, when the storms that occur over the Southern Ocean send powerful waves in the direction of South Africa. With nothing in the way to slow them down, they've often traveled thousands of miles before making landfall and have been measured to reach up to 46 feet tall. Not only can the waves get high, but they're surprisingly long. Those that can successfully navigate them without wiping out can travel almost 1,000 feet before reaching the deep water channel. In 2017, the storm of the century that hit Cape Town produced the biggest waves for 39 years. Number 5. Tsunami in Japan. Japan is known globally for its earthquake preparedness, but when coupled with an unfortunate explosive force of the tsunami, no amount of preparedness can avert this disaster. In 2011, a 9.0 magnitude struck northeastern Japan. While this in itself was a destructive event, it triggered a series of tsunamis that struck the mainland. The monster waves surged up to 6 miles inland at the heights of up to 128 feet and devastated everything that comes in their way. The tsunami's jaw-dropping clips clearly showed that it ate away buildings that were being used as rescue centers, and the wave even created a frighteningly large whirlpool. Moreover, 16,000 people are thought to have died because of the tsunami. Furthermore, the wave was so powerful that it spread across the ocean, around the world, and even reached Chile, Hawaii, and Alaska, where the waves were recorded 6.6 feet high when they made landfall. Looked like straight out of an American disaster movie. Number 4. North Sea. A study analyzed one of the giant rogue waves ever measured and confirmed that dangerously large freak waves are happening much more frequently than previously thought. The North Sea is known for its rough high tides, but such a nightmarish event encountered on the borders of cruise ship back in 2017 was recorded for the first time. Their cruise was sailing through the North Sea when the ship saw a 100-foot-tall wall of water building right in front of them. As the video was filmed, it clearly showed the vessel moving along the waveway and suddenly crashing into the ship's side, which engulfed the entire boat. The boat was so close to being flipped over, but luckily the wave hit at the perfect angle and it was able to sail through. But the video confirmed how dangerously horror a live experience with these monster waves can get. Bet you must be riding high, but make sure you give the video a thumbs up before revealing our top 3. Number 3. Cyclops Coast in Western Australia. Even the most experienced, daring, and downright crazy surfers out there are willing to draw a safe line when it comes to some of the most gargantuan swells. There will always be a few waves in the world that not even these surfers are willing to take risks with. For those curious, the Cyclops is a terrifyingly beautiful wave off Western Australia's southern coastline. When swells are predicted, some surfers begin their journey of hundreds of miles to get there. With even the jet skis towing, the most crazy surfers take the boat to ride the heaviest waves in Australia. These waves have been the cause of countless injuries due to the pull of its force. The wave might look picturesque as it curls over, which is why it is called the one-eyed monster. The closer you look at it more, you understand why it is the world's least surfed waves. Number 2. Nuclear detonation, Pacific. Humans never disappoint when we are talking about competing against nature. On May 16, 1958, the United States conducted a nuclear weapons test under the code name Wahoo. It was an open ocean test that took place in the middle of the Pacific. The reason behind this was to analyze the effects of an underwater nuclear explosion and how it may affect Navy ships. The Department of Defense and filmmaker was the honorable guest to this event, who were witnessing and measuring the force from a nearby island. 2.5 miles from the target, a cargo ship was placed. Imagine the horrors that onboarders were about to witness. The missile exploded in the water, and out came an 800 feet water shot into the sky, completely engulfing the ship. The ship sustained enough damage to render it. The people on the island climbed the treetop as the waves generated by this explosive covered the island. The water receded shortly afterwards. Number 1. Nazaré, Portugal. We bet you must have seen surfers performing their daring board stunts while cutting through the tides. The sight of it urges people to pull out their phones and capture the very art of surfing. But when Rodrigo Cocha decided to ride the tide, he didn't let anyone leave the place unexcited. When searching for his monstrous ride, he found one on the coast of Nazaré, Portugal. Proved by the Guinness Book of World Records, the tide was recorded to be a whopping 80 feet tall and is the largest wave ever surfed. Science links the formation of this monstrous wave to the unusually steep sea bottom and wind activity, which amplified the usual ocean waves. This amazing ride was caught on video and quickly went viral. We hope that you enjoyed the video. Let us know about your views in the comments below about your experience with any of these. Don't forget to watch our other videos and subscribe to our channel. Until the next video, keep traveling and goodbye.